Hello and welcome to another edition of What Does the Giraffe Say Media with me, Kathleen Ritorne. We're an organisation that aims to connect people in conservation by holding live interviews on social media. Today, I am very happy. I am joined by Dr Karin Lourens, and she is one of the founders for Johannesburg Wildlife Veterinary Practice. So, Karin, if I could just hand over to you, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and how and why you wanted to be a vet.
Hi, Kathleen. Thank you for having me. Sure. About myself, I'm a mom of two preteens, so busy on that side. And when I'm not at work, I'm at home. Apart from being a vet, I'm a little bit of a hermit. So I prefer to spend my time with my family when I'm not busy with other things. I don't like exercise at all. I like Netflix and chill. I like reading. I like the bush a lot. Obviously, South African wildlife or African wildlife is a passion of mine. And I wanted to be a vet since I can remember. I think I was 4 years old when I told my parents the first time. It's something I think I love animals more than I love my own children. And I've always wanted to make a difference in that perspective. And I think being a vet gives you that opportunity.
And then when you were deciding to set up your practice, why was it important for you that it was indigenous, small and medium wildlife?
One of my passions is conservation, especially of South African wildlife and spaces. And, there's so many people focusing on iconic species like elephant and rhino. Obviously, they need saving too. But a lot of the smaller, less well-known species are forgotten. Bats and jennets and serval and all these types of things, the ones you have on there, caracal, all these things, and they need saving too. So, and Nicci, my partner at the hospital, she's a wildlife rehab specialist. We wanted to elevate wildlife rehabilitation and treatment in South Africa, and we are the only facility of its kind in South Africa, having a veterinary hospital and a wildlife rehab center combined.
And so typically, how do you get these animals coming to you? Are there any common themes that you're seeing? And how do you even find out that these animals are in need?
Mostly, sadly, it's human-animal conflict, be it something that was run over by a car or bitten by a cat or a dog, or an owl in your roof, or a snake in your garden, or just a baby bird needing help. And sometimes it's from law enforcement, confiscations from illegal traders, from people who keep animals illegally, from welfare organizations like the SPCA or NSPCA, who confiscate wild animals have been kept in atrocious conditions. And we're taking animals from all over the country. It's not just Johannesburg.
And then, so people are phoning you, and then you have to then go out and do the rescue?
Yes, they phone us, and either it's always difficult for us to go out, so we try and get people to bring them to us. And if that's not possible, we'll go out. And sometimes you need a bit of expertise to catch something, like a venomous snake, for example. We have large base of people that can help with that. And phoning is the easiest way to get hold of us. We have a line that's 24 hours, so anybody can get hold of us at any time.
And with the animals that are coming in, I mean, we've got some on the screen here, and I'll pull in some other ones as well. They're quite unusual animals, and I love the fact that there's no creature too little that you won't help. I mean, this little mouse here is absolutely melts my heart. Have you ever had like an unusual animal? And then how do you gain knowledge on these? Because it's such different species with different kind of needs and requirements. How do you learn about what you need to do for these animals?
Sure. It's the most unusual animal for me so far was the pangolin. But we'll get to that in a bit. But when you see a new species, the best thing is actually just to actually reach out to other people that have treated that particular species or something close to it. It doesn't have to be a vervet monkey, but primates in general. Most of their diseases and injuries are treated similarly. But it's basics really. So like with the pangolin, you treat the shock and it's a basic animal, and you sort of have to forget that it's a pangolin for 5 minutes and just treat the animal as is as it is, the injuries and the shock and the things that you see, and then later sort of work on the actual fact that it's not something you've ever seen before.
And have you ever had to come up with like ways to help fix them? I know, for example, I was talking to a vet who was based in the middle of Zambia, and they didn't always have the equipment needed, and sometimes they'd use random things like a hula hoop or things like that. Have you ever had to do things like that to completely like improvise on the work that you're doing?
Yes, especially like this photo of the dormouse. It was bitten by a cat and it hurt its shoulder, but geez, like you can't even take an x-ray of that. It's so small. So we improvised a little bandage made out of tiny pieces of stretchy material and cotton wool, because it weighs 45 grams. So you have to have something that you can use on an animal that's small. And sadly, not all the animals are in the textbooks, so you have to sort of work around it.
So with this dormouse, I mean, I'm a little bit obsessed with it because I do think it's super cute. So it got attacked by a cat, and then someone phoned you, and then you come in, and then they'll drop it off to you?
Yes, they actually drove it quite a way from us. It's from the Waterberg, so it's 2 hours drive from us. They brought it to us. Yeah, and normally what we try and do, if we can, is get them back to health as soon as possible and get them back to where they came from. Sadly, with the little dormouse, that was not the case. Cat bites are quite nasty things, and in small animals, the canine of a cat is about the same as the width of the animal, so you don't always see what's happening, and it only sort of shows up later. And this little thing is still a baby, it still would have been with its mom.
And you touched on it earlier that once you have the animals, they then go into like a rehab process, and the idea is then for them to then be released. Can you talk to us a little bit about this, kind of the different work that you do with the rehab, and then where you release them afterwards?
Yes, my business partner Nicci, she's the expert here. But we sort of work together, obviously, in this. And the biggest thing is to get wild animal back to where it belongs, And we can rehabilitate almost anything. We've had animals that have been pets for 5-6 years, like a caracal, integrated back into the wild, mating with wild animals. And it takes time, and it takes expertise, and it takes money. Something like, let's for instance say that serval that you have on there. It's about a 6 to 8 months process to get them ready to be released when they're a baby. And you need to find a safe place for them, people don't hunt them. It's quite a process, but luckily Nicci has quite a few contacts right around South Africa, so we have contacts anywhere in the country that we could release animals on. But obviously always we try and get them back to where they came from. Even if it's a little dove, it needs to go back to its territory.
Yeah. And typically, how do people in your region view these animals? Are they ones that they want to help and protect and look after, or is there more education that needs to be done on this side?
Sadly, there is more education needing to be done. South Africa is quite a diverse country. We have lots of different cultures. And some cultures believe that, something like an owl on your roof means that death is coming. And it's quite an ingrained belief. So it's very important to educate people on this and not to vilify them in the sense, because it's a cultural belief that they've been believing for hundreds of years. So yes, education is important, and things like snakes. Nobody wants a snake in their yard, in your house, and they are valuable to the environment. They are good at keeping rodent numbers down, frogs, all these types of things. But again, some of them are dangerous. So we need to educate people on not to kill them, but at least phone us and we can come and relocate.
And with all the different animals that you're working with, I mean, you touched on it there just now with the snakes as well. I mean, these animals are wild. They're not used to human contact. They don't know you're trying to help them. Have you ever had any like heart-stopping moments or any kind of dangerous moments when you're working with these animals?
Yeah, most of our patients hate us, and they try and kill and maim us on a regular basis. Thankfully, most of them can't trample us, but they try and bite and claw and run away a lot, and some of them are scary when they run away. For especially snakes, we don't want them escaping. I must say, my worst bites have been from meerkats. People keep them as pets, and they become completely cooked in their heads because they don't get what they're supposed to get in the social structure of a meerkat. And then when we get them, we have to try and rehabilitate them, and they attack you and attack anything, and you have to wear the right shoes, and sometimes you think, I'm quickly just going to go in there and feed them, and then you have your flip-flops on, and the next moment they're attached to your toe. They don't let go. But they can do quite a bit of damage, but it's very rare. And luckily, I must say, our staff and volunteers, our regular volunteers, are very well trained, and we make sure that accidents don't happen. We try our best.
And we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier when we're talking about the pangolins. I know this is something that is very dear to you, and it's something that you specialize in. And you recently joined the IUCN Pangolin Specialist Group. What is it about pangolins that kind of drew you to them and made you want to kind of focus on these animals?
Sure. What didn't? This should be the question. Sure. The first time I had a pangolin in my arms, I was completely mesmerized. It is completely unlike anything you've ever seen in your life. They are hard on the outside and soft on the inside. They are shy, nocturnal, secretive animals, and they're timid creatures. And then when you get to know their personalities, because each one has a different personality, just like all animals really, you're going to sort of fall in love with them, and you want to do everything in your power to help them. And for me, when I started trying to find out more about our species, the one we have is a Temminck's pangolin, very little was done or has been done on them, research-wise, treatment-wise, veterinary-wise. So it was very difficult to treat them in the beginning because there was no one to ask. And that made me want to do more. And that's where my master's degree flowed from, on their normal blood values and things, so that we could at least have a baseline to do bloods on the ones coming in to see what's wrong with them.
And what was wrong with them?
Oh, gosh, so many things. Sadly, all of the pangolins we get are confiscated from the illegal trade. So all of them have been caught by a poacher, and most of them have been without food and water for up to 2-3 weeks. So you can just imagine the horrors that they've been gone through. So anything from pneumonia, dehydration, starvation, emaciation, kidney failure, anything horrible you can think of. And again, it's difficult to treat them because pangolin rolls into a ball when it feels threatened, and not even a lion can open that. So they all need to be anesthetized when we work with them, so that you can unroll them and get to the soft squishy bits, so you can get a drip on. And you can't go into an arm because there's scale. So it took a bit of trial and error for us to learn about them. But I must say, what we've learned have increased our success rate. I mean, from success rate meaning from coming into being successfully released, went from 50% to 80% in just 4 years.
And we've got a question coming through from Winnie. Hi, Winnie. She's a regular of the show. Always lovely to see you coming on. And she's saying a stunningly beautiful species. And are they very scared when they first come into you guys?
Yes, they are, especially of men, because most poachers are men, sadly. So any male sweating person or smokes a lot is almost like a PTSD reaction. And thankfully, a lot of us are women at the hospital, and some of them, because when we take them out for walks, because they don't eat in captivity, you can't put a bowl of food down for them. So we have people called pangolin walkers, which is a pangolin slave, really, which take them out every day to walk them. And sometimes they're so scared, if you just stand on a leaf or a stick or a branch and it breaks, they'll just squat down and not move for half an hour until everything is quiet again. And it takes quite a lot of time and gentle effort to get them to trust us. But they eventually do. And then they come out of their shell, so to speak, and show you the actual nice inner parts of being a pangolin.
And what you mentioned there, I didn't actually know that. Why will they not eat when they're in captivity?
So, strangely enough, our specific species do not eat out of a bowl. So some of the Chinese, some of the Indian pangolins will eat a slurry or dried ants or things like that, but as African species, not so much. I think African species in general are difficult, like African elephants and African rhinos. So we have to actually take them out to a site where we have ants and termites so that they can forage by themselves. And this will take up to between 4 and 6 hours every night.
And you touched on it earlier that they're coming a lot of the time from the illegal wildlife trade. And we've got a question coming in from Linda. Hi, Linda. Nice to meet you. And
she's asking, Linda.
She's asking, what are the most common injuries or conditions you encounter with them?
Most commonly it's severe dehydration and emaciation. Not having food or water for a prolonged time is huge. We often see injuries on the bottom of their paws where they've tried to get out and scratch themselves. Sometimes the poachers hit them with things, so really bad blunt force trauma. But the biggest killer of them is actual pneumonia. It's not a bacterial pneumonia, it's from stress. So it only shows up a day or two after they've come in. So stress is a major killer for them.
And we've been talking about poaching throughout, and we've got a question coming in from Marianne. Hello, Marianne. Oh, lovely to see you as well. And she's asking, why is it that people are killing them? Is it a belief that it's good for their body? What's the reasons behind this?
It's a very much traditional medicine in Asian cultures. Anything from improving lactation to curing AIDS to curing a headache is believed. In South African culture or African cultures, it will give you protection. So you get a little bit of a shaving from the scales and put it in your house, or you carry a scale in your pocket and it will protect you. And obviously none of these have any scientific proof. So it's, again, cultures of hundreds of years ingrained into a people. So sadly, that demand has to change before anything really will happen to the trade.
And that kind of feeds nicely into my next question. How can people stop the poaching and the demand that is fueling this poaching? What's the best way they can do? I mean, we've got World Pangolin Day coming up on February the 19th. Is there ways that people can unite and try and help this? What would you suggest here?
I think, look, awareness is one thing. It's wonderful. And the more people know about the plight of these animals, the better. But I feel that we as South Africans, or wherever you have a pangolin, we have to take responsibility for our own animals and our own natural heritage, because it is a natural heritage. It's a revered animal in many African cultures and almost like a totem species. And we are losing it. And I think if we get local communities and people not only what's the word I'm looking for? Reporting crime, like wildlife crime, whether it's somebody who poached a duiker or a rhino horn or sells a chameleon on the side of the road, report wildlife crime. We have some of the best environmental laws in the whole world, but they are not enforced because people don't report. So there's no precedent really. So start small and work your way up, And I think if we don't make it difficult for poachers to come to our country to take our heritage away from us, it will just always be easy for them to come. We are seen as a soft target because we have such an abundance of species and our laws are not enforced, so it's lax. So it's easy to get away with it. But the more eyes on the street, the easier it is to report things and, to catch other people and keep them away from our country, keep them out of our communities, make it difficult for them to want to come here.
Yeah. And we've got a question coming through here from Linz, and they're asking, do you feel the government and actually governments globally do enough to curb the trade of pangolin parts of the animals? And what can airports, seaports and inland borders do to help?
Yes, I think our government is doing enough. The problem is, I think animal crime sadly comes not as high up as human crime, if it's something to do with a human. But what people don't always understand is that animal crime actually impacts the humans as well. They take from our livelihoods, they take from our heritage, which eventually impacts on the people and their income. It starts with something small. Yes, our seaports are one of the biggest, sure, without swearing, is one of the biggest problems, really, because there's not enough people to enforce. There's no dog sniffers, for scales. So I think a lot of wildlife items are leaving our coastlines, our ports, really. It is something that needs to be looked at on a serious manner.
And
that's not what I'm saying. I'm just the vet, but I do the vet. But I am an expert witness in many of these cases. So, because we obviously go to trial and court with all the animals we have, so I do my bit in that way.
And then we have a
try.
question coming through from Chong, and they're asking, have you come across pangolins that are mistreated by poachers in order to add weight to their actual body weight so that they can sell them at a higher price?
Thankfully, not in South Africa. Weirdly enough, Chong, I think it's only got where you guys are, where they force feed them with all sorts of horrible things to make them, but they are not sold by weight here, because it's mostly the scales they want and not the actual animal or to eat them, really.
I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing. That's absolutely
because they trade it on the wet markets in Asia. So you buy per kilo. So they force fed with cement and flour and all sorts of horrible things, to make them heavier and sell at a higher price. Thankfully, we don't have that here because people really don't eat them. They just want the scales.
The scales, yeah. We got a question coming through from Bonita, and they're asking, how many and how often do pangolins mate? And do they only have one baby at a time? Will their numbers grow to survive this crime in the trade?
They are slow breeders. They breed maybe once every year or once every 18 months. We have no idea how many times they mate. That's one of their secrets we're trying to figure out. They are, if you can imagine, one pup a year. They only have one baby at a time, called a pup. It's very slow. If you think about 97 tons of scale, which is 156,000 animals in one seizure, that's a lot of animals just gone. They can't breed fast enough to maintain the trade, sadly, no.
And then there's another kind of follow-up from that, from Anushka, and they're asking, why are pangolins important to the ecosystem?
I don't think that study has already been done yet, but what we are thinking and sort of guesstimating is that, they don't eat just ants, they eat termites as well, and they aerate the soil for other plants. They keep the ant numbers down, they keep the termite numbers down. So it's very difficult to say one specific species' impact, but I think when they're not there, you will notice the difference. Ants eat grass and foliage like that. So if there are too many of them, I think it will have quite an impact on the ecosystem.
For sure. And feeding from that as well, when we were talking about the rehabilitation side of things, we got a question coming through from Chris, and he's asking, how do you find enough ants and termites for the guys to eat?
They find it themselves. We basically just walk behind them and take them to the site, and they walk around by themselves. You can walk up kilometers at night. And some of them are very fussy. There are many different ant species around, and the place where we take them have 6 different species and termites. And some like ants around the base of trees, and some like ants in the ground, and some like termites, and some like none of those. So, you walk and you go, please eat now. And they just sit there, and some of them will just look at you like, what? And then, we walk, and then finally we find something that they like. So it's quite a mission.
I love that.
That's why I call them slaves. Pangolin slaves. We are slaves to the pangolin.
You will do what it requires.
Yes, exactly.
And I know your treatment center is actually in an undisclosed location. Is this to stop the threat of people coming in and taking the pangolins?
Yes, it is. They are very valuable, and we want to not put our staff at risk, and obviously not the animals in our care.
100%. And what's your biggest challenges that you're finding? And then in kind of the flip side of that, how can people help to support the work that you're doing?
Our biggest challenge is funding. Unfortunately, we're a non-profit organization, so everything we do is based on donations. It's almost R500,000 a month that we need to keep our doors open. It's a lot. And people can help. There's lots of ways. If you go on our website, there's a little thing that says, how can you help? And whether you donate 10 Rand a month, or towels, or worms you can buy for us, or things like that, to help the hospital specifically. But I think something that you also wanted to chat about is how can people help in general. But and that for me is more of a wider question. If you can't pay anything, or you can't give a towel, or you can't give of your time, because we also have volunteers, just arrange for a park cleanup or a wetland cleanup, or use less plastic, have a meatless Monday. There are other ways you can help the environment, and it's not just pangolins and not just the hospital, but it's a bigger picture, really.
100% for sure. And also, I think as you touched on it there, it's not all about the money. It's also about raising awareness. So if you are enjoying this show, please do give it a like, comment, and a share. The more people that can see it, the more work that we can do to raise awareness for the incredible work that they're doing at the Wildlife Centre. Okay, so I only have one more question left. If you have a question that you would like to put towards, then please do so. Pop it in the comments section and I will do exactly that for you. We've had some fantastic feedback as we've been talking, lots of positivity, lots of support for the work you're doing, Karin.
Right, thank you.
I always like to end things on a positive note. So I would love to know what your hopes are for the future and also what your favourite success story is.
We want to actually open a teaching hospital for veterinary students and veterinary nursing students, not just South African, but all over the world that would like to do more. And I call it wildlife rehabilitation medicine. It's not zoo and it's not large wildlife, and it's sort of a niche little field. My biggest success story is also again a pangolin. It was a pangolin named Ali. Also confiscated from the trade, very ill, and when we always do ultrasounds in our females, and we found that she was pregnant. And also it's always a sort of a happy sad moment, because happy, yes, it's pregnant, or sad because they often lose their babies because of stress, but in Ali's case she didn't. So we released her, and once the soft release process was over, the Francois Meyer of the African Pangolin Working Group did that release. He put up camera traps, and we were all waiting with bated breath about what's going to happen. And the next minute, he sent us a video of Ali and her pup in the burrow. So she had had the pup successfully, and that was almost a year and a half ago. And she has since bred with a wild male and had another pup. So it's exactly what you want with rehab. It's an animal that you have rehabilitated, fully integrated into its wild state, and a happy pangolin, I would say.
That's fantastic. I love that story. You touched on it earlier about the volunteers. What's the process if somebody wants to come and volunteer with you guys?
They can email us. It's on our website if they want to. I'm the one that will get that email. And it depends. Some people can give 1 day a week, some more, some once a month. It's a few hours every day. You don't have to have any specific qualifications. Anybody is welcome, really.
So it's more a case of just being able to provide their time and love for the animals.
Yeah, look, you're going to clean a lot of things and prepare a lot of food. We have about 160 animals in the hospital at the moment, and most of our time is spent cleaning and feeding them.
I've done it myself, and it's not a glamorous task, but it's a very rewarding one.
No, everything smells like poop.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Karin, for coming on. As I say, we've had some fantastic comments as we've been going through. Thank you for the questions that people have been putting throughout the chat as well. Much appreciated. And I'm so pleased that everyone's been enjoying the chat. And I'm so pleased, Karin, that you took the time to come onto the show. I really appreciate it. Is there anything that you would like to say before we say goodbye?
No, I just thank you for having me. And I love doing things like this. And I think awareness is one of the most important things. We can only save what we know. And this is the way to do it.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you for the work that you do with the pangolins. And I hope everyone's learned a little bit more about these very special and secretive creatures. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.